Welcome to the MEES Teacher Candidate Assessment Orientation. As our state moves to a single performance assessment, many have been involved in developing a strong system of assessment and support for our teacher candidates. This presentation is intended for educator preparation programs and will provide an overview of the revisions to the MEES assessment tool, as well as the highlights of the 2018-2019 field testing year. Viewers will also gain an understanding of the scoring and training process. Throughout this academic year, there have been several revisions to the MEES tool. In the next few slides, we will review 6 of the most significant changes. We have shifted from 16 quality indicators to a focus on the 9 standards. The representative quality indicators within each standard are listed at the bottom of each page as a reference. This is a screenshot of the MEES Teacher Candidate Assessment rubric. You can see that the overall standard is listed at the top of the document, and the representative indicators are listed at the bottom. EPPs will report out on all 9 standards. Scores from the cooperating teacher and the university supervisor will be submitted. There are 2 companion documents that will be available. One is the MEES Teacher Candidate Assessment rubric, which we just viewed. It highlights 1 standard per page, levels of quality across descriptors, and is a reference to return to when scoring and offering feedback. The second document is the MEES Teacher Candidate Assessment tool. This tool also highlights 1 standard per page, offers opportunity to provide feedback on a single standard multiple times, and allows for a focus on growth per standard. This is a screenshot of the MEES Teacher Candidate Assessment tool. Again, you will see the standard listed at the top of the document and the representative indicators listed at the bottom. You will also see the performance of the skilled candidate highlighted in yellow, for this is the target for the teacher candidate. You may have noticed on the documents that the scoring scale has shifted to a 0 through 4 scale. This scale is intended to show the levels of performance demonstrated by the teacher candidate. A 0 indicates that a teacher candidate is below the standard and not what we would expect to see from a teacher candidate who is entering the student teaching phase of their preparation. This indicates the teacher candidate does not possess the necessary knowledge. Therefore, the standard is not evident or is incorrect in performance. A teacher candidate who scores a 0 may not be prepared or may provide misinformation during instruction. A score of 1 emerging indicates that a teacher candidate is able to articulate the necessary knowledge, but does not demonstrate it in performance. A teacher candidate who scores a 1 may be able to share their knowledge through a lesson plan or discuss it during a pre- or post-conference, but does not demonstrate the standard during instruction. A score of 2, developing, indicates that the teacher candidate is able to articulate the necessary knowledge and demonstrate it in performance with some success. A teacher candidate who scores a 2 demonstrates the standard in performance, but does so inconsistently or with varying levels of success. A score of 3, skilled, indicates that the teacher candidate is able to articulate the necessary knowledge and demonstrate it effectively in performance. A teacher candidate who scores a 3 is demonstrating the standard at a level we would expect for them to accomplish by the end of their student teaching semester. A 3 is the target score for teacher candidates to reach, as indicated on both the MEES Teacher Candidate Assessment tool and the MEES Teacher Candidate Assessment rubric. A score of 4, exceeding, indicates that the teacher candidate is able to adapt and develop the lesson according to the teaching environment and/or student response. A teacher candidate who scores a 4 is able to make decisions in the moment to support student learning. To achieve this level, the teacher candidate must demonstrate all descriptors within a level 3, plus at least one descriptor within a level 4. To review, the language of the headings has been revised according to the 0 through 4 scoring scale. A 0 is considered below standard, a 1 is emerging, a 2 developing, a 3 skilled, and a 4 exceeding. The skilled level was the focus of our work, as this is expected level of performance. Once this language was determined, we developed the language for level 4, followed by levels 0, 1, and 2. As the language for the levels of performance was developed, there was also dialogue about possible artifacts and evidence that might be needed to support scoring. Artifacts may be particularly helpful when determining scores for standards 7, 8, and 9. The decision to collect artifacts will be left to the professional judgment of each educator preparation program. Each program will determine what artifacts are needed and the process for collecting those artifacts for their institution. This completes the overview of the 6 significant changes to the MEES documents. So we will shift our attention to 5 highlights of the 2018-2019 field testing year. All EPPs will use the newly revised MEES instruments and process during the field testing year in order to provide consistency and gather a broad range of data. Inter-rater reliability training for cooperating teachers and university supervisors will be implemented by all educator preparation programs. This may be facilitated by the EPP or in collaboration with the RPDC. A standardized PowerPoint will be available to all educator preparation programs in early July. There will also be an online version available to cooperating teachers and university supervisors who are unable to attend a face-to-face session. Training may be structured as a triad training that includes the teacher candidates as well. Although the training may be facilitated in a variety of ways, the inter-rater reliability component is a requirement for all cooperating teachers and university supervisors. Evaluators will determine a score based on the majority of descriptors within a given level. For example, if the majority, more than half, of the descriptors fall within a level 2, a 2 will be the score reported. If 2 descriptors fall in one level and 2 fall in another level, the lower of the 2 scores will be reported. A teacher candidate must demonstrate all the descriptors within the level 3 plus one of the descriptors within a level 4 to score a 4. A written scoring protocol will be distributed with the training videos. The training videos will include 2 to 3 common videos that will be used by all trainers. All trainers will practice scoring standards 1, 2, 5, and 7. The assigned scores for each standard will be shared along with the rationale and evidence for scoring. This will standardize the training and provide for consistent inter-rater reliability training for all. Low-stakes scoring will be implemented during the 2018-2019 field testing year. The scores from the cooperating teacher and the university supervisor will be submitted for all 9 standards. Teacher candidates must receive a score of 24 or higher. The combined scores of the cooperating teacher and the university supervisor to be recommended for certification during the 2018-2019 academic year. The MEES APR work group will develop a large-scale content validity survey. This will be distributed to experts in the field to determine the alignment of the descriptors to the standards, as well as to determine their degree of importance related to the standard. This data will be used to make revisions to the MEES tool in spring 2019. Additional data will also be collected during the field testing year. We will send out surveys to determine the training that took place in every educator preparation program. We will ask for the structure of that training, face-to-face or online, who was the facilitator team, and who was involved in participating. There will also be surveys that go out to MEES users, cooperating teachers, university supervisors, faculty, and all those who use the MEES tool for scoring will have the opportunity to provide feedback. Iterator reliability data will also be collected during the 2018-2019 field testing year. This will be used to determine how well the university supervisor and cooperating teacher are calibrated. Scores will be submitted by the cooperating teacher and university supervisor. These scores will be used to determine a cut score for the following academic year. In the spring of 2019, we will make several decisions based on the data collected during the field testing year. We will analyze all the survey data collected, analyze the iterator reliability data, finalize the tool based on the feedback received, further develop training, and determine a cut score for certification beginning in the 2019-2020 academic year. Immediate next steps. You now have an overview of the MEES documents and process. You also have access to the MEES Teacher Candidate rubric and the MEES Teacher Candidate tool. Please remember that the language from both of these documents must not be changed, so we can ensure consistency across the state while collecting data. Training materials for cooperating teachers and university supervisors will be available to you in early July. Thank you for tuning in to this MEES assessment overview. Your voice and collaboration is essential to this process and much appreciated.